I'm Eric.
And I'm Steve.
Commander League begins.
League impact on community.
Let's talk about it.
Hey there, fellow Planeswalkers. It's Eric and Steve. Welcome to episode 19 of Let's Talk About It. We're almost in the 20s.
That's right.
Haha! Hot damn. Commander League begins tonight.
Yes.
Super excited, super pumped. If you guys aren't aware, we're going to try and do our vlog series again. We tried it a little while ago. I think we got 3 episodes in or something like that, and then everything kind of fell apart.
Yep.
But we're really going to shoot for it this time. So if you are interested in watching the league progress, the first episode should be going up next, probably Thursday, Friday?
Yeah.
Most likely Friday, because we'll have to edit it Thursday. Oh, no, you're right. No, probably Thursday.
Yeah,
that's right. So anyway, if you're interested, watch that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll get this vlogging thing down. I think we will. It's pretty easy, in my opinion.
It is.
But breaking away from that, getting into the topic, the league. Probably one of my favorite times of year. It happens like 3 or 4 times a year?
3 or 4 times. Usually we try to do the 6 weeks. It's really 8 weeks. So 2 months of the league, and then like a month off or so. So it's like once a quarter essentially.
Well, I feel like that was really the only big problem with the last one, is that there was just so many holidays like right and planted in the middle of it, and it just got the schedule got very choppy, and it was just like, okay, I think we need to back away from this for now and really shoot for something where we're a little bit clearer on as far as our schedules and whatnot.
It was, I think, three weeks of the league, then Thanksgiving, then 3 weeks more, and like Christmas, the Christmas week. So we figured not everybody'd be here. Yeah. We're just gonna skip that.
So if you weren't around for the first time, essentially we're gonna try and focus on our players that usually sit down and play, for our games for the channel. So me, Greg, Kylie, probably Brian. You've seen him every once in a while. And we'll just do quick interviews, talk about like what's going on as far as our games, what's going on in the games, why our camera won't ever stay focused. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And really what I wanted to focus on this with is what kind of attention the league brings to the store.
Yes.
As far as like activity, people coming in, people having a good time just playing. Yeah,
one thing we kind of talked about beforehand, the league definitely brings people together. It brings some competition with it. And that kind of is all expected, I guess. Like, one thing I noticed certainly is just the number of people that swing by.
Yeah.
A typical off Commander night might have 3 or 4 multiplayer games going on. Usually not a lot of 1v1.
Which is something I've fallen in love with recently. So that's another reason I love the league so much.
You get a chance to play that at least a couple games a night. But yeah, that's the one thing, some nights there'll be like 20 plus people, 6 pods of people just playing, and then just multiplayer, which is cool to see come back. It's definitely really good. So
I mean, from my perspective, any shop that's trying to develop like a Commander community, I think it's a good idea to develop a league setting.
Yeah, I agree.
It's been a long time since we ran the first one. I remember there was a guy that came in and was like, "Why aren't you guys running a league?" And then we gave it a shot, and all of a sudden everybody loved it, and it's been great ever since.
Yeah.
So, to anybody that's working at a game store or thinking about maybe even just casually, like kitchen table magic, like if you have people coming over to your house that play all the time, you can always turn it into like a point system and like make it a little bit more competitive and a little bit more like there's stake on the line. Like say, you put a prize at the end of it, like whoever wins the most games get this, blah, blah, blah. For, go as far as like doing the first blood thing, like we're doing with the Pauper to Power and stuff like that. So there's a million different interpretations and there's a million different ways to work it. And I love that about it.
Yes. It initially started, this was a long time ago, before we moved the store. Like it was a casual points league. So you get achievements for playing your commander and dealing damage with your planeswalker, killing somebody, like this and that. Points for finishing. You could really, like you said, Steve, it's super open-ended. I've heard people come back from college and say, I have my whole dorm playing like this style of thing. So it really does lend itself to that. I think bringing people together with a purpose, and it's so like, it's not just sitting down to play games.
No. And there's like I said previously, there's like a million different challenges you can do. So like even if you find your play group is like super competitive and you're kind of tired of it, like I've been hearing a lot of people say that all you have to do is like put limitations on people's decks. Just make it so they're playing a bunch of common cards, or like what we're doing, Pauper to Power, or any variation of that. Really, like
Yeah.
start with the precons, add a card to it,
Yeah.
every week. I think that stuff is great because it breeds creativity,
Yes.
where I think a lot of this, I don't know, regular play almost falls down a little bit, is that people just bring the decks that they've been playing forever because they love those decks, blah, blah, blah. This
It's
kind of brings a little,
hyper-tuned.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
this brings a little bit of interest into it, especially if you do like the point breakdowns and stuff like that. Then, because all of a sudden, winning is not their only objective. It's, I want to get first blood so I can say I got the most first bloods or whatever.
Right. And that'd be like, I think that's where we did start originally was.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was a little tough to keep track of with the numbers that we had, but like, I think that's like where Commander shines. Is
Yeah.
you can like mold your deck into something where you want 20 lands, or you want to play your spells in increasing CMC order to get a point, or whatever.
All those wacky challenges.
Yeah, like I'm sure if you guys like Google a quick list, or maybe we could find one or something, like there's so many different ways to run the league.
Oh yeah.
Ours is pretty simple. I wish we'd done some. I know you even mentioned it. And I just we were like, let's just do the
point
video.
systems.
Essentially, if you're playing a 4-player game, the first place gets number of players -1.
Yeah.
So 4 players -1 is 3. 3 points for first, 2 points for second. Third and fourth get 1 point each. Nobody doesn't get any points, I guess, for a loss or whatever. And multiplayer 1v1 points are 2 points to the winner, 1 point to the loser.
Correct.
We score the first 3 multiplayer games and your first 2 1v1 games, and that's over 6 weeks. Drop 2 points,
Or 2 weeks.
Or 2, yeah, we drop 2 weeks. So if you do poorly or can't make every single night, it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah. That gives everybody a little wiggle room as well, because
Yes.
it's just like, well, I can't be every night, so I'm not going to make it into the league. Where
Right.
it's just like, yeah, you have 2 shots not to, essentially you have to play 4 weeks.
yes, and that, yeah, really, that's true, and get a decent amount of points. Like 8 or 9 points. I think like 32 has been pretty consistent. 32
Yeah,
points, but
yeah.
we've had some people like qualify with like 46 points.
And I don't even know how they do that. Like,
Yeah.
back in, like, I guess before I went into my first commander retirement, like, I think my highest was like 32, and that was like,
Yeah, I remember like a 10-point night. That would be like, say, 3 first place finishes. So I guess an 11 point. 3
Yeah.
first place finishes in a multiplayer game, and 2 games of 1v1 was like nuts. Like,
Yeah.
that was crazy. And now
Yeah.
people are like 13s across the board. And,
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
It definitely has created a little bit of like super competitiveness, but
Yes.
really all you have to do at that point is like kind of like tune your decks to handle those types of situations.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we've constantly been talking about for like the last like month, even at the store, is that people in our group don't run enough removal, not nowhere near enough spot removal and stuff like that. And I think that's starting to get adjusted, and I think a lot more of these like just 2-card combos are starting to get shut down because of that, which is nice because people are recognizing them. So
Yeah.
not only is it really sharpening the play group as far as like skills and stuff like that, but it's also giving people ideas of what they can do them with their own decks.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was going to say is there's always I think we go back to what Will noticed years ago and what Seth noticed and like what we notice and talk about all the time. It's kind of an ebb and flow. Like, there's really points where people are just like, you've got an arch nemesis and your goal is to like, I gotta watch out for this and shut this guy down, and
That's
I
me
gotta
and Kylie.
I gotta have a
every
time. Yeah, like I gotta have a time stop for this or that, or I gotta run a Toper Orb now because of this, and then people are like, they get it, and then they back off, and then like I think the league is a little bit about that, and it self-corrects, which is interesting to watch.
Yeah. I would definitely agree with that. It definitely does adjust itself, which is nice. And
Yeah.
really, like you said at the beginning, it's just like the amount of people that get drawn in because there's a little bit of competition is just great.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it brings in a lot of new players too, which
Yes.
is also nice because like sometimes people just don't want to go somewhere and just play casually for 4 hours. They want to be there, get their games in, and go home. It's just like, I want to get points and I want to feel like I've earned something through this rather than just play games all night, which if you know either of us, that's what we like doing.
Yeah, and I know, like you said about new people. Like, one thing we usually do our filming on Thursdays, like, and for a couple Thursdays, especially like Steve said last time, we kind of fell out of it because you guys got banged up in the first couple rounds of the league, and
and I still kind of attribute that to trying to do too many roles at one time. Like last time I was trying to film and play at the same time, which in a lot of ways, like I was trying to almost like hold too many plates in my hands. And like every time I just came up short on both sides. So we're trying to adjust that a little bit. Eric's going to be our vlogger this time, and I think he'll do an amazing job. We got the GoPro charged up and ready to go for tonight, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, is this something that we'll continue doing? Hopefully. I hope you guys are interested in it because I think it's interesting, I guess, because it's just like you get to watch the progression and you kind of get like the behind the scenes like view on it almost like, oh, Steve just got 10 points. How did he do it?
Right.
You know, like what decks did he run? Blah, 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 you know. Or Steve's doing absolutely terrible. Why is he doing so bad? Like, does this guy know what he's doing anymore? I mean, so yeah. And I think, you know, something that we're definitely going to try to establish is our personalities a little bit more. Like, you guys get to see us for the gameplay that we do here, which is great. And we love, you know, obviously guys watching us and all that good stuff. But outside of here, we'd like you guys to see like what we are kind of like in real life, I guess you'd say. And
also, I know our first kind of goal with the channel was to show off the store.
Yeah.
And our focus is Commander, of course. Like, and I think that like Thursday night is why we kind of started this channel.
It
like
definitely is.
Yeah. So hopefully we can bring you guys into that a little bit. Like I was gonna say, there's a lot of new faces because we usually do that filming here, and it's just like I'm surprised to see. It's like I don't know this person.
Well, and if you're in the southern Colorado area, come check it out. Like, you might find yourself on the channel.
Yeah.
Like, if that is something that interests you and you want to play Commander, like, come on down and just talk to us.
Yeah, that's true.
Really.
Yeah.
We'll say hi to you on the vlog. I mean, no biggie.
Definitely a cool time to even just show off a deck. You know, beat Steve up.
Yeah.
Beat Kylie up. Beat Greg up.
Yeah. Yeah. You could do all. I mean, we're not that great at Magic players, to be honest. We try really hard, but yeah, there's a lot.
And it's competitive now. Like I'd say in the past it felt like it was maybe like 10-15% of people, and I'd say it's like 30% of people are like, that 6 o'clock round is like you better
bring your A game.
Yeah, everything, you're full bore at that point because it's like,
well, and we talked about this last time a little bit too, like some of the established players, the older players like me and Greg and Kylie and, you know, guys that have been doing this league since its inception.
We're probably on the 10th or 12th league, I bet.
So, I mean, at a certain point, your other players get to know you really well, and they know when you're playing a certain deck what to do to you, so you almost have to change it up that way too. I cannot play my Animar deck anymore. I literally cannot. There is no chance of me winning a game with that deck, and it used to win all the time, but now I sit down and instantly, you know, if somebody I've played with is there, which is most likely because most of the people I play with are there, you know, they're just going to dogpile on me and it's going to be the end. And it's just part of it. It really is. Like, and that's just learning to evolve and change with the meta, really. Because like I said, I don't really add a whole bunch of like infinite combos into my decks, but for the league, I've actually started doing that and it feels bad. But at the same time, it's just like, well, I have to compete, you know, I have to have that chance to blow everybody out just out of nowhere. Just put 2 cards down and then just win.
Right. And like, I know that it does feel odd. I know we talk about it a lot, and I know we've talked about this a lot, is like, that isn't our play style. Like, but we always say you got to know your audience. Like you have to know who you're sitting down with, what they play for. And if you sit down, not the strangers are necessarily it, but if you play against people and they show off a certain commander, it's like, okay, like this is my one hope, you know. Like it can definitely,
I know what they're doing now.
The writing's on the wall here or there, you know. It's totally true.
Well, and as always, you know, if you guys have any suggestions for like how we should do this vlog or how we should run it, if you have any experience with any of that, you know, shoot us a comment. We'd love to hear advice on it. This is definitely, it's not new territory, but I don't think we've ever necessarily done it like super successfully.
Yes,
it's
definitely
a little bit different. In my head, it's easy, but I know I said at the beginning of the episode, but it's really not, I guess, because you got to fill all that space, and we're trying to make these videos like 10 minutes long at max. That way you can just sit down like on your coffee break or whatever and just be like, oh, okay.
Get the update on what happened last week or whatever.
Steve got his ass kicked and
Yeah.
Greg got 20 points somehow, like something. He was in a 20-player game and he won,
He played one game that night.
Yes, but it was the best game of his life.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy.
Well, and I'd love to kind of like incorporate that kind of like this happened into that kind of, idea where it's just like, you'll never believe it, but this interaction of cards just happened. Like, and maybe like we'll have a way to like draw you into those games and just be like, film this, Eric, because this is absolutely insane. Yeah. So, but yeah. And of course, we'll be here for our regular shows and everything that. We like working ourselves down to the bone and doing
Thursdays
everything all the time. Yeah, they're fun. They're busy, but they're fun.
They are.
But this is just another addition to it, I guess. So with that, I think this is gonna be a little bit shorter of an episode. I mean, not a whole lot's going on in the world of Magic right now. There's a few like rumblings of like Masters 25, and then like some artwork that's been previewed for like the last dual deck, or not dual deck. What am I saying? Event deck.
Yeah.
Is it an event deck?
There's challenge. Yeah. Well, you're talking the dual deck Elves vs. Adventures, right? Yeah. So some spoiled art there. Masters 25. I think there's 3 cards spoiled right now.
Yeah.
We figured we'd talk about it next week. We've also maybe move away from spoilers a little bit unless things are fully done.
Yeah, I mean, because really it's not that interesting to do like one, in my opinion, it's not that interesting to do like one card at a time. Like maybe if it's something super bonkers, like well, they're doing Force of Will again. But I mean, even this time when I saw Jace the Mind Sculptor, I was just kind of like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I was more interested in the alternate artwork for the Azuri for the...
Or Azusa?
Azuri, actually, for the dual deck.
Oh, I
haven't
see.
Seen it yet?
I haven't, no.
Oh, it looks awesome. Like, it's like almost like an in-between stage between him... Well, not an in... It's like... I shouldn't say that because that's not right at all. I was going to say in between him turning into Phyrexian or not. Like, I feel like this is like a middle point in the story where he... the first card is like Resolute. This is like the second frame where he's like almost like getting ready to go into combat, and then you've got like the third frame where he's been assimilated into the
like
Phyrexian host.
Green blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just like this is like the in between story that you didn't necessarily get to see. I love the new artwork for the Goblin Welder. I will say that right now. And it's foil and it's awesome and it's ridiculous. It's the feature card on the thing. I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
I need to go check this out.
And then also there's Solemn Simulacrum in it. So it's just like this is a Commander player's product again already. It's just like I cannot wait to do the
Morph into Commander.
Yeah, Morph into Commander.
We were just talking about all of our content, and I was thinking about Merfolk vs. Goblins, and it's like I remember I edited those videos, sat through the whole thing to check it out, and then I watched them again like that next day, and it's like, and I played them like the week before. Like, dude, I can't wait. Oh,
it's gonna be a blast.
It's kind of a shame they're getting rid of
we
them.
might have to do a coin flip on who gets to play which on this one because I think we're both probably gonna be interested in the Inventor side because I think that speaks to both of us. Like the mono red artifact craziness, and it's red blue technically, but pretty much mono red probably.
If you haven't played an artifact deck.
You're missing out.
You're missing out.
And if you haven't played a mono red artifact deck, you are definitely missing out. I remember when I first talked to Eric about that, I was like, I'm trying to complete this 32 series. This was way back in the day. And I have no idea what I want to do with mono red because back then, what was this, like 3 or 4 years ago?
Something like that. Time ago.
Back then, there really wasn't anything to do with mono red besides, like, I think maybe
like Norn.
Flip over a chroma, Norn. Yeah. Just weird things, and then all of a sudden Duretti came out, and it was just like, okay, let's give this a shot, you know. And now we've got a whole bunch of stuff. Like we've got Felden. I mean, there's so many choices now that mono red is definitely viable. Yeah. I think the last thing that they need to figure out is Boros, really, and I think they're getting there.
I think you're right.
I think Avacyn, in my opinion, is a great commander. I think you have to build a certain type of deck. It's very like Boros control, but I think she's probably the best in my opinion. Besides, like a really well built like stout arm, you know, that's also really good.
I was even thinking about Depala, my old deck, like
the dwarves.
Yeah, like dwarves and vehicles. Like sure, it's almost too narrow, almost like dinosaurs, but they did okay for a red-white commander,
and for only doing like one block essentially.
And that's what I mean.
Creatures for it, they did fine. All you need is like one more block, and you'll be as long as the mechanics are somewhat similar to where they deal with artifacts, which we're talking about dwarves. I mean, for the love of God. That's what they need. A Boros dwarf artifact centered commander.
Yeah.
And then your dreams would be complete.
Yeah, I think you know, we always talk about it. Here's another red white commander, but I'm glad they're trying,
Yeah,
and
me
I think
too.
they are getting close. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, that's the thing is there's no like Animar for Boros, you know what I mean?
yes,
There's no like go-to, which in a lot of ways is good, in a lot of ways is bad, you know, because there's no like direct like path as far as I need to build this because it's awesome.
right,
It's more like I need to build this because I want to try it,
yeah.
like see what
See if it
happens.
works. Yeah,
But
yeah, and I think
I know we got clear off into the weeds on that one.
we'll
But
just go back and edit. Go to the last page. And Commander League and
yeah.
is Boros viable?
Yeah.
You know.
What color pairs don't work?
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah. So yeah. I know you were gonna say something there, and I think I interrupted you.
I was just gonna like segue and say, how many points do you think you're gonna get tonight, Steve?
Oh gosh, I hope I end up.
Put it on the record right now.
I hope I end up with more than I did last time. I mean, really, basically, all I try and do is win one of my multiplayer games and then win both of my 1v1 games. That is my goal.
'Cause that'd be 3 points for the multiplayer,
Yeah.
2 points for each 1v1. So that'd be a 7-point night.
So it's not bad. And then if you think about you lose the other two, I mean, that's still
A 9-point night.
you're not doing terrible.
No.
But even if I get second place in all my games and then I win my two 1v1s, I think the 1v1s is always what I'm truly gunning for. And the problem is if you get trapped in a multiplayer game right up front for hours, it's terrible because you're just like,
You
I
lose your chance to
need
give
to
up
go
the
play
points.
my other games.
Yeah.
Most of the time you find people just scooping out of those after an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because there's no, if you're not anywhere close to winning and somebody is just dirtling and like has complete control over the board, usually it's just better to get out of the game than try and win it, even though sometimes you can, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, I hear you.
So yeah, I'll shoot for like 9 points.
9 points.
Give that a shot. That's quite a few. We'll see how close I get to there.
Okay.
I'm interested to say you should ask all of us
I
that.
think I will. You know,
Yeah.
like we're gonna work on a list for the vlog. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for that.
Yep.
Join us Thursday. Tonight is Thursday. Any Thursdays, 6 o'clock. That's our commander night.
Oh, and last thing. I know we talked about Pauper to Power being up probably sooner than it's going to be, because now we're actually taking a look at it and thinking, let's try and make this super professional. So Pauper to Power will be coming out.
Yes.
There's no question about it. It's just how long is it going to take us to make it to
What we
our
want.
standards at this point? Because we're really trying to push the envelope on it. So continue to look forward to Pauper to Power. I think it's going to be a great series.
Yes.
I think it's a great idea, premise. So anyway, just wanted to add that in there
Yes,
really
yeah,
quick.
because I guess we did talk about that last week.
Yeah, I mean, we were all like, we'll get Pauper to Power up in like a couple weeks. And now it's just like, it's going to be a month.
Yeah.
If that. So,
What do you think?
We've talked about it.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys next time. And as always, thank you for stopping by. Leave all the comments you want. Tell us that we're doing a terrible job. Tell us that we're doing a wonderful job. We don't really care. We just want something on there.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we'll see you next time.
Take it easy.